guys, it's Lee. Welcome back to my channel. Finally, a bullet journaling video that is on time. Since like what, June or July? Pretty much since the second lockdown, not the second one. Today we're in the second one. Pretty much since the first lockdown was over. But this month I decided to go simple again for a mixture of reasons because A, simple seemed to work really well last month. How did January's go up to over 1,000 views? Like, that's never happened on this channel before, so that really shocked me. Please let me know specifically what you liked about that video and why you think it did so much better than the other ones, besides obviously the visual quality, because I need that one. But yeah, I was thinking maybe you guys just liked simpler, cuter looking spreads. So with that in mind, I decided to do a theme that I was thinking about doing for quite a while. In order for me to fully explain why I decided to choose this theme, I'll just switch it over to the voiceover. So I hope you guys enjoyed this theme. So for my February 2021 theme, I decided to use up the rest, or at least as much as I possibly can that's left, of my Sanrio stickers that I got from Japan back in 2016. And I was wanting to do a cinnamon roll theme like a while ago, so I kept like pinning like random cinnamon roll photos, but it was finally like this month where I'm like, okay, you know what, cinnamon roll and other Sanrio characters feel so right with cutesy Valentine's Day-y thing. And I know that's pretty, basic for a February theme, but I mean, considering how much of a failure my last year's February theme was with cohesiveness, I was like, this should be easy to stay cohesive and very, very quick. So for the cover page, I wanted to do Cinnamon Roll because Cinnamon Roll is my favorite Sanrio character. I freaking love this little puppy. So freaking cute. I forget when I came across this specific character, but I remember when I became pretty much obsessed with Cinnamon Roll that it was so hard to find products that had him on it. It was all just Hello Kitty. And I was like, okay, I like Hello Kitty, but like, Hello Kitty's my best friend's character because like Hello Kitty's main color is mostly pink and red, and I was just never really into pink that much. I mean, I don't hate pink, clearly, because I still use it in some videos, but like, it's not my favorite color. But when I found Cinnamon Roll's main color is baby blue, like my baby blue, and I am obsessed with this blue. It's actually a little ridiculous. Like, you literally, if you asked any of my friends, they'd be like, I know that color right off the bat. Like, everyone knows what my favorite color is. It's that bad. So when I was finding what specific photo I wanted to do, honestly, there were so many super cute ones. I could not decide, but at this point, I was thinking, oh my god, okay, I'm already running out of time because I need to do weekly videos on both channels, and I've never done that before. I feel very behind, and this bullet journal setup, even though like it was very simple design, like it took me way longer to film than I anticipated. I don't know, maybe I was just like in some kind of like drawing rut because I'm thinking this shouldn't be taking me this long. Like, it's simple, it shouldn't be that hard, but it totally totally was to finish. So now I'm behind on my stuff. So now I'm really glad that I actually stuck with a simpler design. Otherwise there would be no way I'm getting out 2 videos this week. So for the outline of Cinnamon Roll, when I was looking through the photos, consistently had like either a pastel blue outline or like a really, really mute brown outline. And I couldn't find ones where I thought would look the best, and I was a little bit scared to do a black outline again. And I know I said again, but it's because I actually did this cover page last after I did everything else, even though it's the first thing on the video, but anyway. So that's why I use this like really light brown. But when I did it in the word February too, it seemed really, really light, so I eventually covered it up with black, but I kept Cinnamon Roll the same. And colored in the background the baby blue to kind of look like a sky. I liked how it looked when I did a similar effect on my November cover page. So I'm really glad that I decided to bite the bullet and give this a go. It ended up paying off. Because usually with like risks like that, I'm a little nervous to do it because I'm like, well, if I hate it, then I'm kind of screwed. But I'm glad it really worked out. So for my quote side, I kept it intensely simple, but this actually took me a little bit longer to find what quote I wanted to use, because my initial thought was, oh, I should use a lovey-dovey song lyric, something from Hello Project, but then I was like, wait, no, I've got a better idea. I don't know if any of you guys know who, okay, Bings, man, I thought I'd turn that ringer off. Anyway, so I don't know how many of you guys know about Morning Musume. I'm obsessed, and they're under another company in Japan called Hello Project. Basically, Hello Project is like this huge umbrella company of a bunch of idol groups, and Morning Musume is like the first one that came out of that company. And my favorite member is Sayumi Michishige. And a couple of years ago, oh, actually not a couple of years ago, a couple of years before she graduated, I should say, she did a promo campaign with Sanrio with cinnamon roll, and I got like these cute little fans of her holding cinnamon roll in like the costume that they had her be in. So I was like, oh, I should pick a song that she sings to put in my quote page, because I'm like, okay, she's representing cinnamon roll. Cinnamon roll's on the cover page. Yes, this is works in my head, even though most people wouldn't get it, but I get it and I think it's cute. So I couldn't find one that I specifically liked that I thought would be like very like lovey-dovey Valentine's Day-y, so I actually just picked the title of a song called The translation is just under it, and it's really like dorky, but I think it's cute and I like it. It's good. Okay, so moving on to our schedule page. This one I basically redid from my last attempt at it from February 2020. That schedule page turned out horrible. Oh, God. I cringe at those pages. But I made sure that I did the airy layout properly this time and didn't add in too many lines like I did last year, and just added very simple doodles. This was the first page that I actually sketched out for this month, so I went incredibly simple. Oh, and I'll mention, just in case you guys were curious, the schedule page squares, or I guess half open line squares, I don't know, are still 6x6. They're just like having the lines on the bottom instead of having them make an entire square. On this bottom corner here, I decided to try ripping out some old papers from old date books that I used to use years back before I discovered bullet journaling. So a lot of this setup is using old scraps from that and all the old Sanrio stickers from my Japan trip to try to use them up. Unfortunately though, it just didn't look right to me. Like, I don't know, maybe it was just because like the washi tape, I don't know, just something about having that thing in the corner didn't quite work for me. So instead, I ripped it off and used a different section of this date planner. As you can see, ripped out a page, cut out the bottom, and when I ripped it up and tried to put it on the bottom, I was like, hey, this looks like it could be like the size of washi tape. This looks great here. So I'm glad I went with that instead of the little notepad thing. Alright, so moving on to my to-do list pages, once again. So I really liked how the January one looked with the ripped pages too, but with this I was still pretty indecisive if I should do the exact same rip or not, so I eventually just decided, Kate, you know what, we're not going to do the down rip, we're just going to put it on. And I ended up using the exact same paper that I used for my quote page on last year's setup too. I'll see if I can find the link to this line. It's pretty old, so I'll see if there's any sheets left that actually say the word. But if I do, it will be in the description if you're curious. But I do know for sure that this line was from Prima because they make the cutest, most vintagey looking papers, and I love that brand so freaking much. But after I finished ripping and tearing it up just to make it look a little bit more like soft, I was about to start gluing it, and oh my god, the fabric tack just completely squirted out, and I was like, oh no! So I don't normally suggest using your fingers to wipe it out like this, but I had no choice. So after I finished that, I decided, you know what, this paper would be perfect to have this page be Hello Kitty themed. So I figured after this, I was like, you know what, I think making each page of this month a different Sanrio character is a very cute idea. Because then at least it still stays cohesive with everything. Their colors are so similar, but then I don't feel like I'm doing the same character over and over and over again. So from this, I actually ripped out pages from another date planner from way back when. I think this one was from 2016. At the very, very back of the book, I ended up not using any of these like lined sheets for extra notes because I guess I just didn't really need it. Around that time, I was still at my old job that didn't require note-taking. It was basically just working on embroidery machines. So there wasn't really much notes to need to be written down. And plus I was just basically starting my YouTube channel, so I didn't really know how much stuff I'd really need to write down. All I knew was that I needed a date planner for the basic stuff. So I'm glad I discovered bullet journaling when I did, but I feel like the bullet journal probably wouldn't have helped me that much way back then because yeah, I just really didn't do that much besides hanging out with friends and going to work and traveling. I traveled a lot. I miss traveling. Ugh. So, ending on that slightly sad note, we're going on our habit tracker and mood tracker page. For this month, I decided to add in the plants because I was getting kind of sick of having to write it on my to-do list every Monday. I'm like, why wouldn't I just have a habit chart? Like, that's probably going to be easier to keep track. Because sometimes I even forget to fill in that stupid weekly spread if I don't friggin' water my plants, and I paid more attention to my habit tracker. So I thought I would do better here, but I will get back to you on that if it was actually successful in the March setup. But this little piece of cinnamon roll, I didn't really feel like drawing more. I was just in such a rush and I just wanted to use the little scraps I had from this day planner, so that's what this one's from. But the pages in these old date books are so incredibly thin, so that's why I had to put a piece of cardstock on the back of it so it wouldn't bubble and, you know, get all kind of weird with even just having a regular glue stick on the back of it. And these little stickers, I actually have no idea if they were part of the big date book I got a cinnamon roll, or like they just came with something that I bought in Japan. I cannot for the life of me remember, but they're finally almost done. But they're just so cute. Like, I wish I had more stickers that were this size, because it makes it look so little doodly without having to actually think of doodles yourself. So for my mood tracker, I decided to do kind of a similar thing that I did with my Kirby mood tracker that I did back in June. It's not all candy, but I was noticing these kind of doodles all across the cinnamon roll photos that I kept coming across in Pinterest. So I just took those doodles and threw them in the mood tracker, and I was like, that's good enough for this month. My creative juices were not flowing when I was making this, not at all. Okay, they were a little bit, like only a little bit, but I'm really glad that I had all these stickers and stuff because honestly, I don't think I would have been in a mood to really do a lot of drawing this month. Sometimes you just don't want to, you know? Like, I love drawing still, but sometimes you're just not in the mood. So my last spread is the weekly spread as usual. Even more simple. We're just going simple all the way. The letters ended up being a little bit big, but honestly with this specific font that I used for this month, I was just having issues making them any smaller. So I guess I'm just having big letters this year. Not this year. I'm not using these letters all year. Just this month. So for this, I thought having it a random piece of like scribbler from another old day planner would be really cute in the center for like weekly tasks and goals and little notes I have to make outside of just like my to-do list for every day. But the page ended up being a little bit too small for the triangle that I originally drew to kind of act as a guide. So it ended up turning from a triangle, not a triangle, that's a diamond. It ended up turning from a diamond to like, please tell me it's called an octagon. I'm gonna feel really stupid if that's not called an octagon. And for the rest of these little tapes, I changed my mind with where those washi tapes were and just put them around the page in random spots. No real rhyme or reason there. And used up more of my My Melody stickers that I also got in Japan. Alrighty guys, comes the end of another bullet journal setup, my February 2021. Very happy with this. It was nice to keep it way more simple and not have to draw barely anything. Sometimes you just need that break. Alright, so as per usual, I will show you guys the slideshow of photos that inspired this theme. There's not that many this month just because I did use mostly stickers, but regardless, it's right there. I hope you guys enjoyed this month's theme. Let me know what you thought about it down below if you have a second. And if you have an extra second, please follow me at Meraki_memories for more bullet journal weekly spreads and other crafty, scrappy goodness that I have time to do. So I will, oh, and also on that page you will see little sneaky peeks of future videos. So please subscribe, please follow that handle, and I will see you guys next Scrappy Wednesday. Bye!